2. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Get situated here. Josh O'Leary here. How is everyone doing this evening? Survivor Digest here with a brand new look. A brand new, juicy, crispy, delicious, elegant, fantastic look. I couldn't think of any more great words to describe how good it looks right now. At least on this end. I'm hoping it's looking okay for you guys. Hope everybody's doing fantastic tonight.
Delicious.
Oh, there's me on the stream. Okay, just testing it out, making sure we're all good. We sound great, guys. We sound great, and we're going to be getting into episode 5 of Survivor 50 here tonight. It's a great season. It's been a fantastic season so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Even the stuff I haven't liked, I've kind of enjoyed. You know, I've at least enjoyed not liking it. You get what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down there at least. If you'd like to join us down in the live chat, feel free to do so. I do these live. I was doing these on the phone for a while. I may continue to do that throughout the season. We'll see. But I have a brand spanking new computer, and I couldn't help myself here. So we're going to get it locked and loaded here on the computer for this episode 5 review. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us live, and if you're watching the playback, we greatly appreciate it. We're live here for Thursdays Survivor Digest, and let's get into it, guys. Survivor 50, episode 5. I got my notes, got my notebook, guys. Here we are. Got my pin so I can mark where I'm at. I kept losing my place last episode, and I had a little bit of a throat issue going on. I had a little bit of a scratchy throat. I was not sick. I just had a little bit of a scratchy throat. I know that Tatsu came in the chat and was like, "Yo, man, you're sick. Hope you get well soon." Well, guess what? I'm well. I was well to begin with. I just had a little bit of a scratch. A little bit of a frog in my throat, if you will. Let's get into it, guys. As soon as I say that, look, I get a little frog in my throat. As soon as I say something about my throat's like, "Are you talking about me? You trying to get scratchy right now?" Let's get into night 9. Yeah, that's where we come back here for Survivor, episode 5 of season 50. We are back from Tribal, and Ozzy is, he's fucking pissed. And rightfully so, because his Tribe Alliance left him out of the plan at Tribal, and Christian is trying his hardest here to do damage control, but nothing's going to work here with Ozzy, as we all know that Ozzy is, very emotional, and according to Christian, a big poly prissy pants. So I don't know. Throughout this, I heard Christian call him a poly prissy pants, and I'm like, yo, who's the poly prissy pants here? Is it Christian or is it Ozzy? Because it's I think the pendulum's swinging both ways here. Let's see here. Yep. So he's trying his hardest here to do damage control. Nothing's going to work here. This happens to Ozzy every single season. Ozzy just tries to have some sort of alliance stay loyal to him, and they're just going to backstab him in the back. You're Ozzy, dude. That's what we do to you. Ozzy does not blame Emily, which is interesting because he remembers, and if you look back to episode 4, he remembers Emily trying to give him a warning there, and Christian was doing the whole zip your lips behind Ozzy's back there, and Ozzy remembers that and says says now that he has half a mind to gather the leftovers of the tribe and vote out Christian. And I wrote here, is this some foreshadowing? Is this foreshadowing for later on in the episode? They would like you to believe so. So let's get to day 10. We get into day 10, and Ozzy is doing some meditation in the morning, right? And he's not doing any Coach Chi. He's doing some some Aussie chi, some Aussie meditation. And I say this is the first sighting of Oscar. We haven't seen Oscar yet. He's been playing Ozzy the whole time. We see Oscar right here. He calms himself down. He's like, listen, I got to go back in there and make things right with Christian. Because that's, in his mind, I guess that's how he's going to continue this game. He doesn't really see it continuing maybe with anybody else but him, at least in this moment of meditation. That's what Ozzy's focused on here. So he's going to gather the leftovers of the tribe and vote out Christian. No, not so much. Not anymore. The meditation has cured him of that. And after reflection, Ozzy settles the beef with Christian. But it does come off very half-hearted. It comes off super half-hearted here. And I wasn't too sold on Ozzy's selling here. And I mean, Christian was rolling his eyes in certain points during this shit. So Ozzy and Steph are a lock, and Steph's goal is to play the middle. And we got a smart game from Stephanie here. Stephanie LaGrosa's got a very smart game going here, as it seemed like she was like going to be next to go after Mike White. It made absolute, possibly her or Angelina. I thought that's who it was going to come down to, but the episode is trying to drive it in a different direction here. And it will correct direction by the end of the episode. But Stephanie's still in a very, very good spot playing the middle here on her tribe. And then we're going to go over to Sela. And Jonathan is going to check in with his alliance. We don't get very much from Jonathan, but we get something from him here. And he checks in with his alliance to make sure everyone is good and wants to make nice with someone not in his core pack here. And he's going to go up to Rick Devens. And he's going to rip ass. He's going to fart in front of Rick Devens. He's going to blast ass in front of Rick Devens. You heard that right. And Rick Devens is going to be like, whoa, is there you step on a bullfrog out here? Like, Rick Devens is such a fucking dork. Like, I can't stand him, dude. I'm sorry. He's such a dork. Oh, you step on a bullfrog? Like, there's a robot scientist out there on the island, and Rick Devens is somehow the biggest dork. It is, you're supposed to, like, be like, damn, dude, good one, and then rip ass right after that. You're supposed to brochacho it up with the giant brochacho that's on your tribe here, Rick. Come on. Come on! So Jonathan is, he's going to pitch to Rizzo. He's going to be pitching Rizzo to his alliance for the vote. But Dee is going to flip automatically at the sound of that for some reason, and tells Riz God. She goes and tells the Riz God, and she states that her and Rizzo is a solid protection somehow. She thinks that Rizzo, since he's an unknown from season 49, and that she's a winner from her season, that's kind of some solid protection, having this unknown. This unknown man is protection. It kind of shields her a little bit, which I don't really see that at all. I would see right through that. I mean, you're D. You guys haven't gone to tribal enough for you to still be here. So Jonathan was pitching that, but it's not going to work out. Coach explains why Coach 4.0 is different. Now, Coach gives himself a brand new nickname here, and this was very exciting. I was very excited. As soon as Coach said he was giving himself a new name, I said, and I was on the edge of my seat. The hairs on my ass stood up at attention, and I was like, what is Coach going to say? And he said, I am now the Tidewalker. And I said, wow, that's badass. I said, that is bad fucking ass, dude. Coach is a badass. Okay. The Tidewalker, dude, you know what? Where's the damn that Tidewalker was amazing. Amazing. I said the Tidewalker coach, man. He's back. and it's his new persona, and he's gonna make Joe his number one here. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're gonna make Joe your number one? That's not a good idea. This guy, Coach is not playing a smart game in this episode, if you ask me. Coach was doing fine up until this point, but now all of a sudden I'm starting to think that Coach is digging himself a South Pacific-sized hole, and he's crawling in it, and he's piling the dirt on top, and he's burying himself alive in there with this honor and integrity bullshit that he tries to pull every time. The only way he could make up for it is maybe owning it at the end if he gets there. This is not a good... You don't want to go with honor and integrity Joe, dude. You don't want to go with your grounded from dad Joe, okay? This is not going to end well for you, Coach. You're going to need to... You should have cut him before the damn merge, if at all possible, but you guys just keep on winning. He likes Joe so much that he gave him a nickname. Now, Joe's nickname is Stone Bell Monk. You know, Coach loves to give his nicknames. And normally they're like majestic. He was like, I'm not doing majestic. I'm not doing dragons. I'm not doing wizardry. We're doing something different here. And he said, you're a Stone Bell Monk. Which isn't a real thing, by the way. I don't think. I think Coach made this up. I don't think this is real. Stone Bell Monk doesn't sound real. I could be mistaken, but a stone bell? There's no such thing as a fucking a stone bell. Is that a loud bell? I don't know. Stone bell, and they're a monk? And this is Joe that we're talking about here? Wasn't thrilled with this nickname. Thought he could have done better. Stone Bell. Not very good nickname for Joe. And then he gives one to Colby as well. Now, Colby looks like he was really enjoying this moment, which I would too. I'd love to get a nickname from Coach. I mean, regardless of how stupid and, random and made up it is. It almost makes it kind of better if it is made up. Colby's nickname is the Oak-Bound Warrior. Like, Coach should write, like, his own fantasy novel or something. Like, he should really look into that. Like, maybe settle down and do something with that. I know he's got a lot of talent, and that could just be another one that he adds to the repertoire of Coach talents. When you Google Tidewalker, Coach comes up as the only result. Once again, when Googling Stone Bell Monk, Coach is the only result. Dirt in the chat. Oh my God, coming through with the Google. Oh man. Coach is the only result on... Are you for serious though? Coach is the only result. Coach just made that shit up, dude. That almost makes it a lot better. I can love it now. Coach and Joe genuinely enjoyed this moment as well. I loved it. It was honestly classic Coach, and Coach was taking it so serious. He was taking it so serious, and the fact that he made these names up, and the fact that Google doesn't recognize these names except for the fact that Coach made them up. He's 3 for 3 with original nicknames. Dude, Coach, I think all his nicknames are original, dude. His nicknames, his stories, everything's original from Coach. This guy, I'm telling you, man, his imagination is limitless. There are no bounds. It's impressive. It's very impressive. The nicknames are impressive now. I was making fun of them a little bit, like these aren't good, but now for the fact that Coach came up with these off the top of the dome, it's almost on. It outshines Jeff Probst's freestyle skills. It's outshining Jeff Probst's later on impression skills that we'll get to here in the episode. Let's get through it. We got a hell of a lot of notes that I wrote down here. Aubrey comes to Coach to make him an ally, and Coach accepts this. And this kind of reminded me a little bit of South Pacific Coach once again. We got a lot of a South Pacific-esque Coach here. I don't know if you remember Edna from South Pacific. It reminded me a lot of Edna and Coach, and how Edna wasn't really in Coach's alliance, but she was just kind of like Coach's assistant. I don't the assistant coach, you know. But Aubrey comes to Coach there to try to make amends with him and kind of solidify an alliance there with him. And I think this is good for Coach. I think he needs someone on the outs to kind of have his back that's not in his core. Smart of him to accept. Now we go to Charlie, who is staying up at night thinking about Rizzo. This guy's not getting any sleep. This guy is up at night picking his fingernails, digging into the sand, twitching and turning all night long. Rizzo's face is slowly morphing into Maria as he tries to close his eyes and catch just a wink of slumber. Charlie cannot muster. He cannot muster a wink of sleep, because he's thinking about Rizzo and how Rizzo didn't vote for his number one, which is a total lie. It's a total lie from Rizzo, just to cover his ass because he was playing season 50 with Savannah, who just won their season 9 days before going out there, and which is smart on Rizzo. And it is D would in this episode would call Charlie the dumbest player in the game. At this point, yeah, kind of dumb, dude. They're just focus in on this moment, man. This is what you were focused on. I saw the reports that Charlie's saying they had a pregame alliance and all this and all that. Yeah, well, having a pregame alliance with one person isn't gonna. You had the whole tribe there. You had the whole tribe there, and you were zoned in on the Riz God, man. You should have known better, dude. You should have known better. An unknown named the Riz God? Yeah. I wouldn't have been messing with him in any way except for the fact that I want to be his best friend at that moment. Especially when he's making nice with D and the rest of the tribe, you know? Let's be smart about it. Dude stole his nickname from a 9-year-old. Grow up, Rizzo. No, Rizzo's name is Rizzo. His name is Rizzo. So I guess it's Riz God is, it's probably just, that was probably like his Xbox Live name when he was a small boy. And it makes sense because he's Rizzo. So, and he's fantastic. I must say, I enjoyed him on 49. I very much enjoyed him on 49, him and Savannah. And I'm very much enjoying him here as well. He's cutthroat. He's funny. He sleeps in a boat. What's not to like about Rizzo? All right, so Rizzo and Jonathan. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So Charlie is up at night thinking about Rizzo, and he tries to put a divide between Rizzo and Jonathan. And he's doing this in the middle of the night, and he's waking up Rizzo. Rizzo's asleep in his boat. Rizzo sleeps in a canoe. And Charlie comes over and knocks on Rizzo's boat and wakes him from a deep slumber at like 4 a.m. in the morning and is like, "Hey, I gotta talk to you, man. Who else did you tell about the idol? Man, I heard Jonathan's putting your name out there." He was just trying to divide a wedge, and Rizzo sniffed it out like immediately and was like, "This guy is doing too much, man. This guy is doing way too much." Charlie's hungry and out for blood, but it's, the appetite, it's too strong. It's too strong, dude. Calm down. Eat a cracker, Rizzo, D, and Sari are a power 3. They solidify themselves as a power 3. Rizzo is leading the charge, I wrote here, and I wrote, could we possibly get a sequel to Mean Girls? That's right, season 49's Mean Girls, which Savannah, Sophie, Rizzo, the Mean Girls squad. Could we get a sequel? And could we get Sari, Rizzo, and D as the new Mean Girls squad? I could see it happening. Let's go to the immunity challenge. We get to the immunity challenge, and we got 2 losing tribes going tonight. Okay, only one team is walking away here victorious, and I love it, I love it, I love it. We're going to have 2 tribal councils here. 2 castaways leaving the island. Fantastic. Get the show on the road here. We've got a lot of people out here, and it's a lot of people to keep up with. I'm not complaining. I'm loving every minute. I'm loving every minute. This season's been fantastic. Yeah, immunity challenge. Jonathan and Ozzy fly through the start of this thing. This was Jonathan versus Ozzy in the water, which is very fun to begin with. I think Ozzy won this thing. Just too quick, too sleek. Jonathan, a little bit too much bulk, right? A little bit too bulky to be as quick as Ozzy is in the water. Still, very much Aquaman-esque. Jonathan, very impressive. Nonetheless, losing to Ozzy is, not a detriment to Johnny's credentials there. But Jonathan and Ozzy, they fly through the start, and Joe is not far behind, but Joe is really gassed. They really highlighted how gassed Joe got. Colby also sat out of this challenge because he's got a hurt foot. They highlighted Colby's hurt foot, and I was a little bit concerned about this. I said, why are they highlighting him having a little bit of a hurt foot? Is he going to be medevaced later in the show? Because why would they give that a little bit of airtime? Are they going to do a little flashback to like his hurt foot getting hurt? Whoa. I don't like that. I don't like that for Colbs. Yeah, they're focusing on Joe being extremely gassed. Sela starts their puzzle first, followed by Vatu. Tiffany has a nice rope whip. We haven't seen much from Tiffany literally the entire season. So it was nice to see her get a little bit of action here and do a little rope whip. She literally was like lassoing the rope, the knots out of the rope. Pretty impressive. Angelina, Coach, Rizzo are on the grapple hook for their tribes, respectively, here. Coach gets the grapple first try. Literally first try. Just takes the grapple, underhands it, boom, gets the thing he needs to get. His part in the challenge is over. Coach, just boom. Amazing, dude. Amazing from Coach. This Coach edit is very strong. It's very strong, I must say. Tiffany gets one bag on to her platform before everyone catches up quickly here, which is normally the case. Everybody's kind of flying through this thing, but everyone meets up in the end on all 3 platforms with Vatu, whatever their name is, winning. Coach's tribe is strong as hell. It's Coach's tribe winning here. This is Joe, Colby, Coach. This is the Zach Brown band winning tribe. They win everything. They, none of these guys have seen a tribal. I'm not even sure if we saw Chrissy at all in this episode. She's on this tribe. This tribe just keeps winning. And it's probably all because of Coach's grappling skills and Coach's just skills overall. Very impressive from this tribe. I'm impressed, and they do not have to go to tribal council. The other 2 tribes, they do. They got to go to tribal. I mean, Coach has definitely seen a grapple hook a time or 2 in his life. You think so? I mean, definitely. He probably grappled the whole Amazon River, dude. He probably grappled it. He didn't walk it or hike it. He grappled the whole thing. All the way through it. Coach is so good. He's so great. I've really been enjoying the Coach for the Tidewalker. All right, we're getting through it here. So Rizzo tells Camilla everything about his idol here. We get a little bit of Camilla, which is nice because I enjoy Camilla. He tells Camilla everything about his idol and his plan to get Charlie. So Rizzo's gunning for Charlie. Charlie's gunning for Rizzo. And he tells Camilla Kyle said to him that Rizzo was his number 1, and that if he goes out of the game, go find Camilla and play with her. And Camilla's kind of playing it up like she's buying it, but in a confessional is like, I'm not buying what he's selling, but he may be someone to work with because he's like he clearly really wants to work with me, but I'm not buying that BS. because Charlie's going to come to her later and tell her the exact same stuff about the idol and all this stuff. But Charlie's going to be too slow, according to Camilla. Too slow of gameplay, according to Camilla. So, I mean, it's a personal preference out there on whether Charlie was slow or not. I know he festered long enough on Rizzo. I know he was festering for nights on end. Dude didn't look like he hadn't slept for 4 days. So yeah, I enjoyed the Rizzo lie. I enjoyed the lie about Kyle. I thought that was very funny. And even if it's a bad gameplay from Rizzo and Camilla has sniffed it out, it was funny nonetheless. Because Kyle only played for like 2 days, and Camilla's like, "Yeah, dude, there's no way Kyle said this to you. You guys played like 1 day together." Charlie also tells Camilla, but yeah, she addresses that his game is too slow. Christian's plan is we're going to go over to Christian's tribe here because we're getting to tribal time. And we got to flip back and forth here. So Christian's plan is Angelina. And I thought that was the obvious plan going in. I thought that their tribe was going to be very boring going in because I was like, there's no way that they're going to vote for anyone but Angelina here, who's been a big, giant nothing burger this season. I did see Angelina's exit interview, and this woman just wanted to go on Survivor and play the hits. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to go on there and play the hits. She wanted to do rice negotiation. She wanted to do the jacket. She wanted to do, just the things that she was known for from David versus Goliath and ham it up in that way, but, kind of just coast along. Nothing burger, dude. Nothing burger from Angelina. Did not care if she was going to be leaving here. So I was like, let's go. This is a fantastic way to go about things for Christian. But that's almost too easy. And Ozzy wants to possibly flip the vote to Christian. Ozzy possibly, he's still pissed. He's still pissed. And rightfully so. We discussed that. We said that there's, plenty of good reason for Ozzy to be mad about this. And so Ozzy wants to possibly flip the go to Christian. And at one point, Ozzy's like, did I write? Yeah. Yeah, Christian calls him a dickhead because Ozzy's like, hey, I'll stick with your vote, but you got to give me your shot in the dark. Like, what? And the shot in the dark is still a thing this season, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I can't see anybody trying to play that thing. It's such a waste. It's such a beginning of the new era type thing. Even when it was successful, it's immediately unsuccessful in the next tribal. I don't know how this is leverage really for Ozzy, but it does work nonetheless. As Christian is backed into a corner and does eventually have to give it up here. Skipped ahead a little bit there, but that's okay. It should be everyone. It should be Ozzy and everyone voting for Angelina. But his feud and hate for Christian is making it look like Christian versus Ozzy. At least that's what it looks like in the edit. They're like, oh, it's Christian versus Ozzy. Angelina has got to be safe. Angelina got to be safe with one confessional. That's what I wrote here. I was like, man, she's got to be safe. She's only had one confessional. She's literally not been represented at all in this episode. I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I was like, maybe Angelina is safe because she's just not been represented. She had one confessional, and it was right there where I just wrote this note. And I'm pretty sure it was like, she was like, we'll see. And that was it. That was her confessional. He took his girls' soccer team on a grappling hook outing. Oh, coach did? I believe that. Me and Angelina would be riding till the end. Easy win. Exactly. That's what I thought, too. I was like, if she's just going to coast and kind of like play the hits and the numbers, why isn't anyone pulling her along as a goat? I don't know. I think it was bad gameplay here from these guys. I think Mike White was good. I think Angelina was a little bit silly. It should have been Ozzy versus Christian. They should have just settled the beef here. And Ozzy has an idol. Ozzy has an idol he can use. So, I mean, maybe he's trying to wait for everybody to come together, which is happening next episode. So, Ozzy has speaking of Ozzy, he has an honest conversation with Emily and tells her the plan for Christian. And I don't think Emily likes this very much, and she's trying to keep the family together. I don't know if they didn't show a conversation or something with Ozzy and Emily, or like part of this conversation, but Emily had to have had some sort of rebuttal here to this, but we didn't really get much. She had to have convinced him, like, don't do this. I don't think she would backstab Christian, but I do think she'll blab. I do think she'll go and blab to Christian immediately about what Ozzy just told her, and she does. And we got both of Christian and Ozzy being big babies here. They're both just complaining about each other. Christian's like, Ozzy's being a big baby. He's being a big baby. He's being a big baby. He's a Polly Prissy Pants. Polly Prissy Pants. I was like, what in the world, Christian? Chill out, dude. So Christian is backed into a corner, and he gives Ozzy a shot in the dark dice as collateral. Like I said, Rizzo and Sari, they exchange secrets and solidify their alliance. So Rizzo tells Sari about his idol that he was given, the boomerang idol that he was given, and except he's not labeling it as a boomerang idol. Rizzo is calling it the Billie Eilish idol. He's leaving out the boomerang part. And I think that's smart, because if people don't know and they just associate it with Billie Eilish, then they're not going to question the boomerang part, which is the fact that if Rizzo does get voted out, the idol boomerangs back to the person who found it originally. So, which, does have some consequences when you think about this. And, so, solidifying an alliance with Sari, very dangerous. Rizzo and Sari, I love that team up. And when they do finally come together as a solid tribe here during the merge, it'll be fun to see if Rizzo, Sari, and Ozzy kind of get back together, because Sari's got a nice solidified bond with Ozzy, as she also shared with Rizzo that she has an extra vote. So extra vote for Sari, idol for Rizzo. Nice little alliance there. Camilla turns her nose at Rizzo's antics here, but she realizes she's the deciding vote, and I was like, oh no, she's going to pick Team Rizzo, isn't she? She's going to pick Team Rizzo. She likes the Riz God a little bit. I think he's a little bit endearing. I think he's a little bit contagious with his personality, and I think Camilla's maybe caught a little bit of it. I think everybody out there on the island catches a little bit of it. We saw Colby, who was like, this guy's annoying, just piss. And then about 3 days in, you're like, Rizzo's kind of funny. I like him. So let's go to Tribal Council, guys. And these were my guesses before the end of the episode. I said my guess is Angelina, and my guess is Charlie. Okay, Charlie was doing too much. He was too, waking up a Rizzo out of his boat, trying to do too much, and just way hyper focused on it. And the way they hyper focused on this thing, I was like, Charlie's just gonna get murdered here, and it's gonna be rough. So Jeff shows off his skills as an impressionist. He does an impression of Colby, which I know this season was filmed in advance, but I've been doing an impression of Colby on here ever since we saw Colby coming back for 50, and we heard him say, "Oh, hell, Debbie, I don't even know who to vote yet. I haven't played yet, Debbie. Oh, hell, Debbie, Jeff maybe does have the cadence down of these people a little bit better. Because when he did Christian, he was like, he was very stuttering his words, and very, he was doing the head motions and stuff. Very good impressions from Jeff. I'm not gonna give credit where credit's due here. Jeff Probst with some good impressions here. He could have been the fourth rotating chair on Whose Line Is It Anyway? We could have had Wayne Brady, Colin Mockery, Ryan Stiles, and is that Greg Proops? Nope, it's Jeff Probst. He's got impressions. So Colby and Christian, they were very good impressions from Jeff. Angelina makes a strong argument here at Tribal. She's got a nice little speech, but I was like, this argument and speech is too long. She's leaving. And I was correct. Angelina is voted out here, and she does the whole jacket shtick. Hold on, Jeff. You guys might need my jacket. And I kind of rolled my eyes at it. I was like, gosh, I don't know. I've heard the joke so much now that it's just, You know, it's Rick Devens earlier saying that Jonathan was stepping on bullfrogs. Level of level of funny for me. Tribal Part 2. Charlie describes himself as being in a pressure cooker. And I said, Jesus, dude. I said, the last Tribal was so lighthearted. And Angelina leaving and like doing the jacket thing and stuff. I was like, okay, this feels like a Tribal. This feels like we're at a funeral. And we were. Because Charlie says he's in a pressure cooker and that, he's about to explode here. Jeff puts the spotlight on Rizzo, and everyone kind of goes around and gives their take on Rizzo, which is very interesting. I thought everyone seemed to kind of like Rizzo, which I was like, damn, Charlie's got to be sitting there thinking, like, is this going to work in my favor? And it did not. As everyone went up to vote, we saw Charlie's vote, and he said, Rizzo, you didn't vote for your number one. That's why I got to get you out, which is crazy that you were hyper-focused on that, Charlie. Like, I know that's what did you in for your season, getting all the way to the finals and not having your number one vote for you. But you had to also consider the fact that maybe Rizzo was lying. Maybe Rizzo did vote for his number one. Because he did. Because he did. But Charlie is voted out, and he had a totally sad ending. Totally sad. He was very upset. I believe he didn't even finish his final words. He just put his hands down, his head down into his hands, and sobbed a little bit as Survivor went off the air before showing their preview for next episode. And I was like, oh my goodness, Charlie. I didn't watch his exit press at all, but I did see his new mustache, and I must say, looks good. Love to see a man with a mustache representing how a man should look. That's great. Good on Charlie. But sorry you were voted out here. A lot of people on this season, haven't even experienced being voted out. They either got to the end or they won, so this is a new thing for them, getting the torch snuffed by Jeff. Yeah, good stuff here. Dirt says, all right, gang, before we get into Tribal, everyone take turns and say one nice thing about Rizzo. Now, he didn't ask to say one nice thing. He was just kind of getting everybody's perspective on it, and everybody went around and was just like, Rizzo's magnetic, dude. Rizzo's great. I think he's a great guy. Rizzo's the best. That's what they were saying. Everyone was saying it. And I was just like, wow, dude. Charlie, you really think he's going home? Because no one's saying this about you. You said I'm in a pressure cooker, and no one corrected you. At least that's what the edit shows. And I think that's kind of how it went. Next episode looks really fun, guys. We got the merge, the biggest merge in Survivor history happening next episode. We got Jeff unveiling some sort of thing. Who knows what the hell it is. But I'm going to be covering it all here on Survivor Digest, right here on the Slipper House Extra YouTube channel. And I've been enjoying this season. This was a great episode. I thought this was a good episode. I thought the worst episode we had was last week, and that was only really about 15 minutes of it during that reward with Zach Brown. And let's be for real, it was so bad that it was good. It really wasn't a detriment that much to the show. Everybody pissing their pants, complaining. Everybody being a poly pissy pants about it. I don't like Zach Brown or his fucking music either, but it was fine. It was fine. He went spearfishing for a little bit. It was a little cheesy, and then we got Coach like shedding tears, and it was fine. Whatever. It was like the greatest day of Joe and Colby and Coach's life. Okay, leave them alone. It was 15 minutes out of all we've gotten. Okay, we had a 3-hour premiere that kicked ass, and I just want to give it up to the editors. They've done a great job here. I've seen a little bit of complaints. I heard a little bit of it from Angelina saying the lack of women's confessionals and really just women's storylines going on here, and I can agree with her there. But hopefully we get more of those storylines coming out as the tribe emerges here. Because I would like to see a little bit more of the Genevieve Aubrey situation. I'd like to hear a little bit more from Tiffany and Chrissy, who, you just forget are even there. So I can respect some of those thoughts and opinions from Angelina. Definitely makes a lot of sense. But still, I'd like to give a shout out to the editors, as I am very much enjoying this season. Very good. Good stuff. We'll be back covering the rest of this on Thursday next week. So you guys come back on Thursday, like, share, and subscribe. And check out all of our other programming here on the channel. Check out House Assembly. We are going live this Tuesday. We're moving from Sundays to Tuesdays. No more Sunday nights. We're going live Tuesday nights right here on the channel. That's right. You're going to get your comedy live right here from the boys and myself. And we also got Pro Wrestling Sauce every Wednesday at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time, and available on all your podcast streaming platforms for all your pro wrestling content. And we also do Monday and Friday live reactions vertically via the phone that you can live chat with us and hang out as we watch final hours for Raw and SmackDown. Me and my brother Jake hang out and watch the final hour and just have a chat with the chat and hang out. So you got some content every day of the week here, guys. You got it jam-packed every day of the week, Monday through Friday, baby. Yeah, we're rolling. We are rolling. It's been a good show. I hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.